friends, welcome back to my channel. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So this is the first Danny video that I've done in a long time and I apologise for that. Life got really crazy just before the summer. I was finishing up at uni, finishing my second year. I was saying goodbye to people and then this summer happened and I went on holiday and I was away and I kind of got lost in life when I couldn't live and everything was just so busy and I became really uninspired with YouTube. Before the summer I hadn't read in months. I was just so busy and I was just, as I say, feeling very uninspired with YouTube. Hadn't got the motivation to make videos and just was not feeling it. But then during August I interned for the entire month of August, and I pretty much spent every lunch break watching YouTube videos, and that really got me inspired and passionate and energised to make YouTube videos again and to really shove my all and put my all into making videos. I've been blogging and Instagramming pretty much daily, weekly for the last 4 years-ish. And I want to get back into doing YouTube, as this time last year I was really into it. I was putting up like 2 videos a week, but I'm back now, and I'm really excited about the direction I want to take my YouTube channel. I've got loads of ideas. I'm going to start weekly vlogging. I really want to just do more and more on this channel. So if you have any video requests, any ideas for me, let me know in the comments and I'll try and get those up. Whew, that was a lot of talking. Apologies if I was a bit too fast then. I'll try to be a bit slower. But as you can see from the title today, I'm doing my summer reading wrap up. So I'm going to talk you through all the books that I read in June, July and August. So for the 3 months of summer-ish. So especially during August my reading got way more. I got way more into reading. I think I read 3 books in 1 week. I have fallen back in love with reading, which has been amazing. I know during the spring I was so busy with uni, so busy seeing my friends, I just fell out of love with reading, which is really sad. But this summer I've totally just got back into it. I've been absolutely loving it. I've read some incredible books. I thought I would go through the books that I've read in June, July and August, show you what I have read, what I thought about them. Some of them were hits, some of them not so hits. But I'll get started. I'll try and do this in order, but I may mix them up in the end, so I'll try and do them in a vague order. So the first book that I read in June was It by Alexa Chung. This was a reread. I took this on holiday and it was just a perfect poolside read. It's Alexa Chung's book, so if you're into fashion, that sort of thing, then you know who Alexa Chung is. It's full of imagery. The writing is very big, frankly. It's like huge, there's loads of pictures. It's a really good poolside book. It's quite heavy. I have the hardback, but I know this is out in paperback now. Yeah, if you're into fashion, if you like Alexa Chung, if you want a book that's really easy, pick this up. It's a reread for me. I just wanted something easy to read by the pool. It was really good. The second book that I read in June, again on holiday, is the third book in the Going Down in Flames series, and that is Trial by Fire by Chris Cannon. This, as I say, is the third in a series. I absolutely loved the first book in this series. Second book was okay. Third book, it was okay. Like, this seems to follow a bit of a trend when it comes to the third books in series and series that are longer, that it didn't really feel like very much happened. Like, the first 2 books really kept my attention. I read them really fast. This one, okay, I read it fast, that's because I was on holiday. It wasn't as action-packed. Like, it was really interesting, but I'm not necessarily loving the direction the book's going in. Like, the character, so it's about a girl called Bryn who's a shape-shifting dragon. In the first book she finds out about this because she doesn't know, and the world of the shape-shifting dragons is controlled by a really archaic class system, and as the books go on you see this start to fall apart. You see her start to integrate into her family. And there's a character in this that I really I'm not loving, called Valmont. I'm really not a fan of them too. But I am looking forward to the next book in this series, simply due to the fact that I want to know what's going to happen. Like, this, it's leading up to a war, it's leading up to a battle, it's leading up to like a massive shift in this world, and I'm really looking forward to that. But this book just didn't It didn't blow me away. So the next book that I read this in July. I got this book, well, it's kind of a book, for my birthday and read it like the day after, and that is volume 3 of The Wicked and the Divine. It's called Commercial Suicide. This, as I say, is the 3rd volume. I think there's a bit of a trend in this video. The 3rd volume of a comic book series, as I say, called The Wicked and the Divine. And this comic book series follows the premise of a group of gods. They return as young people every 90 years. They are loved, they are hated, they are adored, but within 2 years they are all dead. And the first book in this series, the first volume in this series, I found very, very confusing. The second volume in this series, I read the first one, reread the first one, then read it, and I absolutely adored it. It was so good, and it definitely redeemed it for me. This series has incredible artwork, and that was the reason I think I carried on with the second volume, and that just redeemed it. It totally brought it back up. Volume 3, on the other hand, was terrible, and I think it was terrible because from what I can, like, the artwork is different in every issue, and so I think they got people to guest do the artwork rather than the original people do it, because the artwork is incredible in this series normally, and the volume 3 just had each issue, as I say, had different artwork. Let me show you an example. So this is artwork from one issue, so it's really simple, really desaturated. But then this is artwork from another issue, which is very in keeping with the style of the first 2 volumes. And it's really bright, really eye-catching, and really detailed. And it just really, really threw me off. Like, I feel like I would have enjoyed this volume so much more if all the artwork had been by the people who did the original 2 volumes. I am probably going to get volume 4, however, my expectations have gone like down. My expectations of this were pretty high because volume 2 is so good, and this was just a bit like, so that wasn't great. Next book I read again in July, and this took me a bit longer to read, not because I didn't love it, but because I went to a festival in the middle and wasn't going to take it with me. And that is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers, and this is book number 1 in the His Fair Assassin series. This is a pretty hefty book. It's like over 450 pages, and this book is set in historic Brittany. It's, let me just see. So it's set in 1485 in historic Brittany, and it's sort of historical fantasy because a lot of the people in the court and at the time, and some of the battles that happened, actually happened, like the countries that invaded each other in the war, that was actually happening at the time. However, this series follows daughters and nuns and assassins for the god of death. So we follow Ismay, she's trained an assassin for the god of death, who's called Mortan, and she gets sent into the court of the Duchess of Brittany. And I fell in love with this book. It was so, so good. Robin Lefevers like killed it. Ismay, who's the main character, she's such a kick-ass female, yet she's not without her insecurities, she's not without her flaws, and I think that makes her even more cool and even stronger as a character because she doesn't pretend to be perfect. And this book is just filled with court intrigue and politics, and you know, she's an assassin. It's filled with action, and it's got twists and turns in it that you don't necessarily see coming. And the historical element didn't throw me one bit. It was just fantastic. I loved this book. The next book I read in the very beginning of August, and that is Becoming by Laura Jane Williams. It's about sex, second chances, and figuring out who the hell I am. Wow, this book is incredible. It's about a girl called Laura, like a woman called Laura. Let's see if there's a picture at the back. Here we go. That's Laura. And she's a writer and a journalist, and this is her story. Yeah, and for me, part of this I was like, whoa, does it actually happen? Things like this happen? Like, at times I was like, whoa, it took me aback a bit that this wasn't fiction, because some of the stuff that she's been through, I was like, you couldn't make this up. And some of the stuff she's done, I was like, you could not make this up. And parts of her, as someone that's 20 and that's not necessarily like a proper adult, I was like, I don't necessarily identify with some of it, but the bits I did, like, changed my world. Like, I've underlined bits in this. Let me see if I can find it. Like, parts of this book, like, they're like quotes to live by. Let me read you one. They're on their way, your person. It might not be today though. In fact, it's probably not today or even tomorrow, and that's exactly how it should be. You're not with the person of your life because you are the person of your life. They are extra. It will happen when it happens, but it will happen. You can admit that life seems better as part of it too, if you want, but don't sit and wait. Don't suddenly pass the time until they arrive. You're worth 1,000 more dreams than that. And another bit of it was, single doesn't mean less. Single is whole. You are everything now in this moment, fully formed, a force to be reckoned with. All you need to be and will ever need to be in one perfect soul. One is a round number, remember. Also remember that you are enough. You are complete. You are loved. He was just one person. Wow. This book just took my breath away. Laura Jane Williams, like, I wrote an Instagram post and she tweeted me and was like, thank you. And this just, I read this book at a time when I think I really, really needed it. And this is going to be a book, and like quotes like that, I think I'm probably going to end up like typing up on my computer and printing out and sticking on my wall. Because I'm like, quotes like that, some of the stuff in this book is just world changing. And if you can remember it and live by it and not forget it, I think then it's incredible. And this is a book that all females should read. Like, you are not going to, some of her like sexual antics, I'm like, whoa, I do not get this. This is nothing like my life. Yeah, I think there is going to be parts of this that every female, and actually a lot of guys, will probably identify with, and I just adored it. And this is a book I will definitely come back to again and again. If not certain chapters, I will just come back to again and again. It is so rich and so deep and hilarious and wonderful, yet raw and honest in a way that is like totally mind-boggling. But I adored this. Adored it. And the next book I read in a day, and that is Nerve by Jan Ryan. Jan Ryan. Read this in a day. This is going to be a film, which is why I picked it up. It's quite short, like just under 300 pages, but it feels a lot shorter. Like, the writing is quite big. This is an action-packed thriller. I'm not going to say too much because it's quite good going into it blind, but the main character did annoy me at times. Yeah, I really did enjoy this. It's really action-packed, really quite crazy, but really cool and really fun. If you want something that's you are going to not want to put down and is going to just capture your attention like nobody's business, this is definitely one to check out. And then of course, the book of the summer. The book that I think if I hadn't read this summer, I would have got like, wouldn't have been a proper booktuber. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. I picked this up, I read this in 12 hours. I gave this 3 out of 5. I could have given it 1, I could have given it 5. As I said, I read it in 12 hours, like less than 12 hours. I think it started about 3 in the afternoon, and by 12 that evening I'd finished it. Because it's in script form, it is really easy and really quick to read. Did I enjoy this? Yes. Did it feel like fanfiction? Hell yes. Would I want to see it in the play? Yes, definitely. Because I think that the play will totally just be, I think the play will be incredible. Do I think there is plot holes out of its arse? Hell yes. But do I think that anyone that likes Harry Potter should read this? Yeah, I do. Overall, yeah, I enjoyed this. There was plot holes. It felt like fanfiction. There is no two ways about it. Anyone that spent their youth on Tumblr and on the internet and reading fanfiction, this will feel like fanfiction to you, and it did to me. Yeah, I did enjoy this. Scorpius and Albus's friendship, like, saves this book, I think, for me. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm glad I read it. Actually, did I love it? Kind of. Parts of me loved it, parts of me hated it, and I can't quite figure out how that works, but it does. It did. I read it. I'm glad I read it, because otherwise I would have been completely wondering. But, yeah. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. But the BookTube's book of the summer, something due to the fact that you either love this or you hated this. Everyone's been talking about this. So the final book of this summer, of August, I read it, like, it probably took me the longest, but that's because I was interning, so I didn't have as much time to read, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs. This book, we meet a guy called Jacob, and he happens upon a home for peculiar children. They are not your average children, and he gets totally thrown into this crazy world. And I really, really love this book. The end felt a bit draggy to me. Yet at the same time, the beginning, I raced through, I think, the first 150 pages. Like, read in about a day. And the pictures, I absolutely loved the fact that this had pictures in it. It really, that for me made it just so much better. Like, I really did enjoy the pictures and having letters and things in here. I would definitely recommend this. I am going to pick the next one up. I'm a bit dubious because I'm kind of, I don't know. I did really enjoy this book, but a part of me is just like, meh about reading the next one. And I don't know if that's just because, like, as I say, the last bits of it dragged. And I don't know if I just need to read a different type of book for a while. But overall, I did enjoy this. I think I gave it like 4 out of 5. Probably would have given it a 3.5 if that was possible on Goodreads. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I'm looking forward to seeing the film because I think they've changed. From the looks of the trailer, they've changed quite a bit, which is the same with Nerve actually. They look like they've changed quite a bit. But I am looking forward to seeing that. Jacob, I really enjoyed Jacob's character. And I really enjoyed Miss Peregrine's character. And I wish I knew more about her. I want to get to know her more. So, yeah. I am a bit not too sure about picking up the next one in this series. And I don't quite know why yet. I haven't quite figured out why I'm feeling a bit funny about it. But I am. But yes, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs. I did really enjoy it, so definitely check this out. It is a really cool book and it's a really interesting concept. It's like the baseline of it is probably something that's been done before, but this book just takes it in a whole new direction and in a whole new way. There we have it, folks. The 9 books that I read this summer in June to August. I hope you enjoyed this. I will hopefully be getting back to doing monthly wrap-ups. However, I may end up doing like 2 monthly wrap-ups depending on how much I end up reading. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you've got any recommendations for me. Let me know if you want to see sort of full video reviews of any of these books. And make sure you're subscribed if you want to see what's coming up on my channel. As I said, I'm going to be weekly vlogging. I've got loads of exciting things planned. So make sure you're subscribed to see those and to know exactly when they go up. So I hope you have a really great day, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to like and subscribe if you did, and I shall see you next time. Bye.